Are crypto markets crashing? Is the market in a bear phase? Has the entire market collapsed? Has everyone in the market been scammed? No, this situation has nothing to do with market fraud. The situation we've experienced this past week has nothing to do with the fraud you think or the market turning bearish. These declines are not related to the war, as we might have thought. The current situation is happening due to the use of low-interest loans given in Japan to invest in high interest rates in the American markets, combined with the fear of recession in America. The core of the issue is that the wolves of Wall Street, London, and New York, i.e., the money moguls, borrow at low interest from Japan, buy Japanese yen, and then move this money to America to invest it at higher interest rates. Billions of dollars have been made between these two relatively reliable countries in terms of financial markets. However, due to recent events in America, fear has started to spread in the markets. This fear is because interest rates have not been lowered for months in America. You might say, how could this be a perfect situation for those trading when interest rates are high? But it's not so. This situation is one of the biggest signs of a recession in America. This situation has created panic and fear, especially in the relatively secure environment of America. It caused a staggering $2.5 trillion to be wiped out from one of America's largest stock markets, Nasdaq. Look, it's an incredible amount, exactly $2.5 trillion. This amount of money, equivalent to almost the entire crypto market, disappeared in an instant. Such a large amount of money vanishing from the market caused a decline in all financial markets and systems. Naturally, the crypto markets also took a hit from this situation. Those who anticipated this situation earlier made excellent gains by opening short positions. In this situation, investors who trade in spot markets, not wanting to open leveraged positions, saw this as a buying opportunity and continued to add very cheap crypto assets to their portfolios. Especially considering the rise Bitcoin is expected to make in the upcoming period, some investors bought Bitcoin at $49,000. I mentioned in the last video, do you remember? Governments will continue to print money, leading to inflation, and while trying to balance this inflation, recessions will come. The moment the market realized this situation, fear and panic started. And this fear and panic caused $2.5 trillion to disappear in one of the world's largest markets and exchanges. Such significant movements in the supposedly reliable American and Japanese financial markets inevitably affect the crypto markets. One of the biggest culprits of this situation is the Fed, which did not lower interest rates in time. If the Fed had started lowering interest rates on time, the market would not have experienced such a significant panic and fear against potential or likely recession situations. They could have received a softer response. This situation has been going on for almost 12 months. The Fed not lowering interest rates for 12 months has inevitably created a panic atmosphere in the markets. From our perspective, this has been a perfect opportunity to buy from the bottom if we want to cost average in dollars. If you are currently at a loss, don't worry. There was a perfect opportunity to buy, and it's still ongoing. Why? Because countries will continue to print money, and the financial markets they have constructed in a complicated manner will continue to shake this much at the slightest fear. Look, just the fear of a recession in America wiped out $2.5 trillion from the markets. The current system is so fragile that even the slightest fear can cause this situation. This gives us a big idea of how we should find a reliable haven. 99% of these transactions are made with fiat currencies, and the decision of how much to print is left to governments. Governments print as much money as they can and then say they are trying to cope with situations like inflation and recession. They take away your financial power under the pretext of wars, diseases, or similar ridiculous events. Think about it. The current monetary system is designed to enrich the minority 1% in the world. Despite establishing this system, they can wipe out $2.5 trillion overnight and impact the world economy at the slightest risk. Remember, I mentioned in the last video that America's debt is $35 trillion, and if it cannot export or abolish this debt to other countries, this debt will remain on them, and it concerns us all. Why? Because half of the money in the world flows through America. If something happens to this country, it means something will happen to all of us in the first stage. Whether we like it or not, 80–90% of all trade in the world is done with dollars. If we do not exit from this monetary system where they can print as much as they want and continue to stay, the game creators can take money at low interest in places like Japan and multiply it in places like America at any moment with a fake situation, and $2.5 trillion disappears overnight. Friends, I want you to understand why I'm emphasizing this situation. Look, Japan's GDP for 2023 is $4.2 trillion. This means that half of Japan's annual economic earnings disappeared in one night due to the events of this past week. When we think about it, it's an incredible situation. This event alone is an excellent example for us. The game creators can destroy an amount of money equivalent to half of Japan's economy overnight. Who knows, they won't wipe out an amount equal to the German economy in the coming months or years. Or they won't crash overly inflated companies like Amazon, Apple, Microsoft, Google, or Alphabet overnight. If you are the game creator in these markets, you can do whatever you want. Some of the few things they cannot easily change or destroy are gold, Bitcoin, and Ethereum. They can't change or destroy these minerals and technologies as they wish. Yes, they can deal a blow. Yes, they can cause a sudden drop, but they can't destroy them overnight like the $2.5 trillion. Maybe stricter regulations and taxes might come even to the exchanges where trading is done, but they can never interfere with transactions made between individuals. Transactions between individuals will always concern individuals. Therefore, maybe the shares of your stock market, your money, or the shares of the companies you own will be intervened in and significantly devalued. But no one will ever be able to touch your Bitcoins or Ethereums. Look, economic independence is something entirely different. To be the real owner of your money without needing governments, administrations, or companies. What power or money can overthrow a person who is the owner of his money and value in his hands? This has always been the issue. Economic, monetary independence. The only asset we need to hold on to right now is this. These companies, governments, and states' biggest weapon is the money they print themselves. What I'm trying to explain is that there's no need to fight the system. Living in our system with the independent money idea we believe in as independent warriors of the system. Only believing communities can do this. Everyone will eventually come back to the same place. Independent money, namely Bitcoin, and in the second stage, Ethereum. Although its old gold and other crypto assets continue. We should know that even if $2.5 trillion is wiped out overnight, we are prepared for everything the system will bring. In every situation the system puts us in, we will increase our ownership even more. We will continue on our way by increasing our ownership with every drop, because this is where everyone will end up. Limited assets. Please write in the comments what you experienced in this last drop. Let's learn and act together. Until we meet again, take care of yourself.